Whoa, this is breaking. Did this just break? So Robert Morris pleads guilty of child SA. Oh my gosh. Dennis, I'm gonna get back to you in just a second, but this is nuts. I did not. What? Let's see. It looked like they had a video here. Robert Morris pleads guilty to child SA.
Gateway Church founder Robert Morris has pleaded guilty to sexual abuse charges. Good evening. I'm Steve Eager.
Whoa. I did not expect this. I did not expect this. But maybe this is his way of taking accountability and moving towards repentance, I guess.
Heather Hayes, Morris appeared in an Oklahoma courtroom this afternoon to enter his guilty plea on 5 counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child, all stemming from incidents dating back to the 1980s.
Okay, if you didn't know who Robert Morris is, Gateway Church, one of the biggest churches in the world, massive church, massive influence. And he, it came out like a year ago that he had SA'd a young girl when he was like in his 20s and she was like 13. And there was allegations that the church knew, and they covered it up, that she had reached out. I think she had reached out to have her counseling covered, and they kind of blew her off. And eventually she came public, and he got sat down and fired, as he should have. And now he is in court for the criminal charges, and he is pleading guilty.
Fox 4's Amelia Jones joining us now live with the latest. Amelia.
Heather, Steve, according to the plea agreement, Robert Morris received a 10-year suspended sentence with the first 6 months to be spent in an Oklahoma jail. He will also have to register as a sex offender.
Oof. Okay. So he pled guilty. He's spending, so this is what they gave Young Thug. They gave Young Thug a 15-year suspended sentence and time served. In his case, he's spending 6 months in jail.
Morris pleaded guilty to 5 counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child from sexual abuse incidents that date back to the 1980s against Cindy Clemishire when she was just 12 years old.
Darkness.
The allegations, she brought them against Morris. They were thrust into the spotlight last year. It wasn't the first time she made them, though. They received attention following a report from a religious watchdog blog. Shortly after, Morris resigned from Gateway Church, the megachurch out in Southlake, and he was indicted on abuse charges earlier this year. Clemishire was in court today and said in part, quote, "Today is a new beginning for me, my friends, and family who have been by my side through this horrendous journey." Clemishire said, "I leave this courtroom today not as a victim, but as a survivor." Clemishire has been a vocal advocate for victims of sexual abuse.
Oh my gosh. This is brutal. I mean, I guess I think it's a good thing that he pled guilty. Oh man, I'm so conflicted by all this. I'm glad that he faced criminal charges.
She testified on the Texas House floor in support of legislation called Trey's Law that protects victims. State Representative Jeff Leach authored that bill, and he shared a statement about the guilty plea with Fox 4. It says in part, quote, "Going forward, we must do all we can to support."
Yeah, reformed layman says the penalty should be way harsher. 6 months in jail for this? Yeah, that sounds pretty light. That sounds light. I mean, he really did. He did this to a child. So to only have 6 months it seems light. Seems light.
Abuse victims like Cindy, who had her childhood robbed from her, and as she had to live with the shame and pain for decades before finally seeing justice prevail. And Leach was in the courtroom today. He shared with Fox 4 that his law firm helped with the civil case pro bono.
Jeez, man. Yeah, this is all over the news. CNN is covering it, of course. He's 64, alleged abuse. Yeah. So this happened in the 80s. Morris received a 10-year suspended sentence. So now he has to be on the SA list. 6 months seems light, but my guess is it's light because he just decided to plea out. He decided to plea out, and he probably had lawyers that got him this negotiation. You know, man, I would venture off to say if he wasn't as old and he didn't have the means that he has, that unlikely he would have gotten the sentence that he got. Yeah, so this dude's it looks like he's in handcuffs. Is he in handcuffs? Yeah, he's in handcuffs. Yeah, so this is they say it's a plea deal, right? He pled out. He has to pay $250,000 in restitution but he will only serve 6 months in county jail. So county jail is different than prison. So he's probably going to be under immense surveillance. It's not like if he were to go into prison, it'd be very dangerous for him. But he's doing, local county jail. And shout out to this lady, Cindy Clamashare, for being so brave and coming out and stepping up, But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm very conflicted. From one standpoint, I'm glad he pled out. I'm glad he didn't drag this out. From another standpoint, this is brutal that it's only 6 months. The plea represents a remarkable fall for Morris, who founded Gateway in 2000 South Lake and grew into a megachurch with tens of thousands of weekly attenders. His sermons broadcast around the world. I think they were technically the largest church in the country at one point. The career collapsed in June 2024 after Clemshire, 55, publicly accused him of SA. Within days, Gateway announced that Morris was stepping down. In a statement at the time, Morris acknowledged what he described as a moral failure with a young. I hate the way he talked about this as a moral failure with a young lady decades earlier, but didn't respond to the specific allegations. Yeah, the vagueness, I think, is so whack. Oh, man, this is brutal, bro. See, this is my concern. My concern is, and I'm not trying to be harsh, so forgive me if I'm being harsh. And I know there's probably people that are watching this that know Robert, people that are watching this that probably have gone to his church. My concern is this. I think in situations like this, you want to make an example of the person so that no one ever does anything like this again. And when they get a 6-month sentence, and they're rich and powerful and successful, I just wonder what sort of precedent that sets. That's how I feel about it. Is, does this set a precedent of like other folks that are like, yeah, if something like this happens, I'll just go sit in jail for 6 months like Robert Morris did, and then I'm back. And is he gonna try to make a comeback?
Darkness.
That's my concern here. I think someone like this needs to do years at the minimal in prison, even if they're old, even if they had a good lawyer. Because what is justice in a situation like this? If this happened at your church, what would you want to happen? This did happen at a local church, by the way. Someone, there's a pastor that was in the area that essayed his own daughter. Same age dynamic. I think he was maybe in his 30s. She was 12. And he's in prison for 15 years. 15 years. So for this dude to only get 5 years, I understand there's space. This happened in the 80s. I understand that. But I just wonder what kind of precedent does this set? Yeah, he absolutely disqualified himself and should never be in ministry again. But if he tries to make a comeback, and so now then watch the people who get behind his comeback. Watch the people who will get behind his comeback if and when he tries to do that.